Hello everyone, it's Armstrong here from Other Miniatures, and today I was struggling with picking the right car for my project. I wanted to do something cool, but I didn't really know what exactly, and struggle with the creativity. But then I dug into my old box and I found this military truck, and my idea completely changed. So yeah, I will convert this into. And we are back on my messy table. This is one of the old cars, how you can see, because you can disassemble it easily. Yeah, and there is a detail on this car, on this bed in here. You know, they are actually two dogs or giant cats, molded into the base. And as much as I love dogs, I don't want them on this particular bed, so I'm gonna have to cut them off. Yeah, so just grab the knife. I would love to save them if possible, for some other details somewhere. We will see. Okay, seems like one is off. Oh, the other side gonna be much harder to do. So this is gonna be my first proper military build, I would say. Come on. All right. Yes, I managed to remove this. So yeah, the dogs are saved. They will be put aside and maybe used in some other project. But I still want to get this bed, to be more flat. So I'm gonna probably cut it off. Well, I don't think that I need to cut more off. I'm gonna probably put a metal plate in here just to cover the remains of the dogs. But first I need to sand it a little bit. And that sounded gruesome as hell. Cover the remains of the dog. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you say something and then you realize how gruesome it did sound. Yeah. So yeah, there we have this part. And I like the big wheels. I ain't gonna be changing them, they are good enough. And I have in here two crewmen that's gonna be standing in the back. And as well I have this trailer that I bought some time ago. It was just cheap plastic, what do you call them now, tractors, and I bought like 4 or 5, I think 4 of them, for this trailers. And as well there was a cisterns with the fuel systems or whatever. But I'm just thinking that they can cut this to the side and have this kind of like zombie harvester in the front. Of course it's gonna be counted as a RAM for a game purpose. Still a cool little detail. So I'm just gonna assemble this car back together and add this little metal plate in here. Like always, to be very precise, I use my patented measuring tool, which is basically my eye, because you know me and I don't like to measure stuff. So there you go, there is just a little gap in here and in here, but that's pretty much perfect. Yeah, especially with this, how much offcut I have from the plate that I did cut into it. So now I'm just gonna grab those two, yeah, and just get rid of this bit. Yeah, the plastic is soft but hard enough so clippers actually get it very nicely, which is a good coincidence. So yeah. And now, we have this front bit in here. Just see how it's gonna fit. I only need to cut off these bits. And then, of course, I want to sand this to the you have this spoiler in here. I want to sand it so it's gonna be nice and flat, so there's gonna be more of a nice connection in between the two surfaces. And wabam! I'm jumping again into the middle of the video to tell you, to rate, comment and subscribe, because I would love it to get to a 400 subs by the end of the year. So I'm counting on you to help me with that. And it took me only about 2 minutes to sand it flat, which is nice. And I want it a little bit lower since this is a truck, and it's gonna be hanging down a little bit. Okay, I didn't make a small mistake in here. I need to flip it because this ugly little piece of detail, like the gauges for the plastic mold, was actually showing up. So just get it onto the bottom of the car, and there we have it. Nice kind of bladed harvester. Whatever fall into it gonna be cut into pieces. Yeah, so I'm happy about that. And like when it comes to armoring this car, there's no real point of doing so, as this car is already armored. You can see that the windows are armored, the front window is armored. Yeah, I'm not very happy about the lights on the top, but since this is supposed to be a military car, it's probably some sort of authority reminder that authority used to exist in the back when, yeah. So I'm just thinking that maybe, just maybe put, that's pointless, I was thinking about putting the massive gravestone in here, but I would need to actually make it bigger, and that would be just a waste of space. This is hard, when you have something that really fits into the Gaslands universe. Converting it into something better is hard. Yeah. Let me just think. Oh yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I will attach some pipes in here to make the exhausts, but I first need to find the right wires for that. So I found this little pipe, and I cut 6 pieces out of it, roughly just fitting on the side in here. And now for detailing, and this is gonna be long and boring process, but just taking my hand drill and just drilling small holes all around this thing. Yeah, so going through. Now there you have it. My cat hear me recording, so he have to join, singing again, free recital. Yeah. The sad thing is that he only knows one song, and his song called Meow. Yeah. But sometimes he goes kind of, fancy and go mrau rau rau. Yeah? You never heard that before. Yeah, but I'm just telling you that this is one of his, this is just a variation on his regular song called Meow. Okay. So yeah, when you have, these holes done, we can just do, this kind of my take on orcish kind of ends of pipes. Yeah, and I like to do that because then just make this less modern, more kind of frailed. Yes, we can see how it looks like. And of course we need to drill more holes in here. Yeah, like at least twice through, so 4 holes on each level of the pipe. And this this really requires a lot of cleaning afterwards, because you are left with a lot of, like, you know, frailing pieces. So you need to grab your blade and at least go over it to scrape off whatever was left behind, and then you can go with your blade and just, you know, empty every single hole from whatever remains in them. And you can see that, you know, I don't always hit the lines straight because those holes are everywhere. But this is how I do these pipes. So I'm just gonna finish all of them. So yeah, this is a very small detail and it took me like 15 minutes to finish. So wow, yeah, just some stuff is more time consuming than the other. So I'm just gonna give a little bit of sanding in here, and I want to just attach those 3 pipes like that. Yeah. So, and I'm just attaching now the pipes by themselves. One, 2, and 3. Come on. All right, let's just add here and here. This one don't want to stay, you know, it's a outsider. Okay, it's holding. Now the other side, of course, I need to scuff it a little bit again and do exactly the same. And if you build stuff like that, you know, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. Yeah, but sometimes you just want to do something symmetrical, and that's the exact case for me today, at least. All right. So I have 2 giant sets of exhaust pipes for him. Yeah, so it might be an extra boosted engine, you know, for mowing zombies. And oh, come on, I have this piece of PC wire that I just this is, you know, from my old PC that I scavenged, and I want to have, oh, one of the pipes just pop off again. Come on, stay in place. So I want to just add this, you know, to have something going under the car. Yeah, but this is a boring process, so I'm gonna do it off screen. And in the meantime as well, I'm gonna paint those 2 boys, because I learned my lesson yesterday. It's better to paint them, you know, outside before you're gonna glue them. Yeah, so I will do this, and you're gonna see this black bumped and those guys already painted when I come back. That took me some time. The what do you call them now? The toy soldiers, you know, 1/72 scale. Oh, that was about an hour of painting. It just, the scale is so tiny that with my, you know, clumsy big hands, I struggle to actually not screw it up. Yeah, but we have all the parts that I wanted painted black on this. Now I just need to find the metallic paint that I did have in here. Oh, it's here. And just do a little bit of dry brush. Yeah, I still have like just the tips of the machine guns for the soldiers to dry brush as well, so that's a small thing. But I want to dry brush very gently those pipes, not too aggressively. Yeah, I want them to have some metal on them, but not being too shiny. So yeah, like if I get to roughly the bolt gun metal color, I'm happy. And in here, I know that I'm gonna cover this probably in mock in a few seconds, but yeah, I want this to be nice and dark metallic color. And in here those pipes, and now I can just, you know, add some metallic and much heavier Then on the pipes in here, you know, I want this to be somewhat shiny, and then I'm gonna dirty it up with some blood and gore and whatever else I can think of. Yeah, but this part wasn't as important for me to not be too shiny. And the same with the metallic in here. I want this plate to be nice and metallic, and this as well, the original piece of the car, I want this to be metallic as well. And since this is a military truck, I don't want to make any rust on it. And what is my reasoning behind it? Is this, that military, if they are remnants of military, they're gonna have some sort of discipline. Yeah, so keeping their vehicles in good order would be probably part of this discipline. So cleaning, you know, maintenance, everything. So, and like I said, I painted miniatures for that. So I'm sorry, my throat again is acting on me. So I'm thinking that, you know, they wouldn't allow their trucks to fall into disrepair. Yeah, they would have probably nice background in mechanics and everything. So no disrepairs, only weathering. Yeah, so no rust completely. Even though I applied this, you know, extra pipes, you know, just to make it look cooler, in my opinion, I don't want to screw it with too much rust, you know, and I know that I would go too much, yeah, because that's my nature. So I'm just gonna mix the brown with the skin tone that I have for the, and with a little bit of white that I have in here for the dirt, and that's good enough for me. And of course some dirt gonna get onto this truck, yeah, that's unavoidable when they are traveling, but I assume that when they get to the installation they would fix it up and clean it up, so nothing extremely heavy again. Yeah. So maybe a little bit of water just to help me with everything. Yeah, but I'm just thinking that this is gonna be probably one of the cleaner cars in general. Of course the wheels, you know, even the undercarriage can go dirtier, but this is just surface grime, it's not locked in properly like on the other cars, and I don't want it to be locked in. Yeah, I think that this amount of dirt that I applied right now, and of course some on the fenders here, is completely serviceable for this truck. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut out the guys from the bases and glue them into the back here. Yeah, and as well I will allow this to dry properly, so be right back. Alright, so I cut them out from the base. Yeah, and I have a super glue in here like 5 minutes ago. This day isn't working for me. I'm screwing everything up, putting stuff into places where I don't know where they are. Just one of those days. So what I want to do painting wise, before I finish this car, I have a little bit of the red in here, and I'm just gonna apply this on the brush. And you know, this is just to give the like a splatters of blood, and this brush is perfect for that because, you know, it doesn't contain a lot of put together bristles. Yeah, so there it is, and I found the super glue. I'm just gonna cut off the tip because I assume it is stock like always. And now the two guys, I want to have one aiming forward and one aiming backward. So this is gonna be probably the most fragile part of this build. Yeah. And I'm assuming that they probably should use some baking soda to reinforce it, but then it's gonna look bad. Yeah. But right now, those guys are sitting here nicely. Yeah. The only thing left to do is to put Nuln oil on everything. And I don't want to under deliver here. I really want to put Nuln oil on everything. That includes soldiers and the entire truck. And you can see that they are still moving, yeah, which is a nightmare. I think that this one ain't gonna be moving, and I don't want the track to turn out very dirty, but it's gonna turn out very dirty. Yeah, it's still, you know, I think that is just a travel dirt. This stuff gonna be cleaned up by the soldiers whenever they arrive at the base. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to come back with a little bit more of super glue and fix this guy up. And of course a little bit in here and in here. And this is it, it's done, yeah? I'm gonna just fix up that soldier, dry it all off, and we're gonna see. And let's just go to the spin table then. And here it is, my very first properly army truck. Yeah? I use the 172nd scale soldiers are from Vietnam era troops, yeah, and I'm actually very happy with it. I was thinking that I didn't do enough modifications to it, but it looked menacing, you know, when you just look from the front of it. And don't worry about the little standing soldier, he is actually glued properly, the glue just have to cure, yeah, so he's still a little bit wibbly wobbly, but he gonna get there, and you know, it's gonna stay. And the blood splatters after adding the Nuln oil that actually turned out great, in my opinion. So if you liked it, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. And thank you all very much for watching, and have a great day.